Okay everyone, so we're here in the Silverado EV. This is the RST model, and we're going to take it for a little ride and see how it matches up with the work truck. And right away, a lot more premium interior materials in here versus the work truck. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Ken and I make videos about electric vehicles, and I try to have a little fun and create a relaxing atmosphere for my viewers as well. If you like what you see, go ahead and click on subscribe. And then when you click on subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. And if you hit that like button, it'll help others find our content just a little bit easier on YouTube. If I look around it, piano black over here, kind of chrome looking red. The stitching, a lot of fuss has been made online about the stitching over there. I don't really see where it's that big of a deal. It looks fine to me. It actually looks kind of natural. So the screens are definitely huge, much bigger than the work truck. If we look up here at the rear view, we have a rear view camera, regular rear view mirror, rear view camera. So really helpful there. A lot of the same bits up here in the top, but let's go ahead and try to drive it. Obviously we can control the climate either from the screen here, but we also have buttons and knobs for the folks that don't like to do it through the screen. We can adjust these buttons and knobs here. So we've got the vehicle in drive. It does look like the tow haul mode is on, which let's go into, we're gonna stay in demo mode here, and let's go into drive modes. We don't want to be in tow haul. Let's go into normal mode. And I'm not gonna put the wide open watts on, but I am gonna put the one pedal driving on, and I'm gonna set the one pedal driving to high. And I also wanna show it on the home screen, which is really nice. All right, so let's go ahead and try to drive this thing. I think we should be good. We do have a heads-up display, something that we don't have in the other models. So the LT model is not going to have that, and the work truck model is not going to have that. One pedal driving works very well. I don't know if you can see it here, but I'm on a really steep hill coming out of this parking lot, and there's a lot of traffic here, and the one pedal driving brings it to a stop very quickly. This RST model also has the hard tonneau cover, which is really nice.
A few moments later.
I think I might finally be able to get out here. All right. This is definitely a much different experience than in the work truck. And while we're sitting here at a light, let's go into the menu and look at the status. So a lot of similarities in the menus, but the heads-up display, I can't decide whether I like it or whether I don't. Something major must be going on. There's a lot of fire trucks going by here. But I really like that I can see all my statuses and the speed limit even in the heads-up display. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I chose to do kind of an evening demo drive here with this in the hopes that A, my camera would be able to function well in low light scenarios, and B, that you would be able to see the heads-up display. Now there is a car right next to me, I can definitely feel that it has the big 24s on it. I hear a tiny bit of tire noise from the 24s. It's still pretty smooth. I'm not sure how long this one's been sitting on the dealer lot, so there may be some flat spotting. This is a 2024. The 2025s are coming out now, but the 2024 is considered a first edition. And this one looks like it has 200 miles on it. And if I go here, you can see that I have a lot more options than I do in the work truck. And let's see what we have. It does have a heated steering wheel, I can feel that. And heated seats, that's not available in the work truck, obviously. I do want to investigate the ride height. So if I go into drive modes, it should somewhere give me the option to change the ride height. Accelerator is very responsive. So I'm actually going to try to go over here into this park and ride. Try to figure this truck out. Cameras are great, just like in the, well, and it doesn't slow itself down very easily in reverse. I don't like that. All right, so we go into, I think the cameras are on here. Let's go into my mode. Not sure. Obviously we can do that. That opens up all the power. Okay, so we go into my mode. This is where we can tune the ride. So let's go for sport. The suspension is in normal mode. This is very similar to the Rivian. So the Rivian has 3 ride feel settings. I'll put this in sport. Acceleration feel, I like this as well. You can adjust the accelerator mapping. Let's put that in sport. Motor sound, I don't really like this fake motor sound, so I'm going to turn that off. And we're just going to go ahead and try to drive it now. But I'm going to get a little help here from the navigation. Google Maps. And it wants us to review privacy settings. Go to map. Okay. And I'm going to search for, let's search for, I know where this church is. So I'm just going to take a little ride to the St. Michael's Church.
Head southwest towards Springfield Avenue.
And
St. Michael's Catholic Church may be closed by the time you arrive.
now this is interesting. So it has the directions on the heads-up display.
Turn left onto Springfield Avenue. Turn left onto Springfield Avenue.
So we're going to turn left here. And this is kind of hard to see. I don't know what this person's doing. I don't like this motor sound. I don't know if you can hear that, but I thought I turned the motor sound off. This map is not really showing me north up.
In 800 feet, turn left onto Maryland 851 South Main Street.
So maybe I didn't adjust a setting properly.
Turn left onto Maryland 851 South, Main Street.
Let's see what we got here.
In half a mile, turn right onto Forsyth Road.
So they're trying to make it sound like an ICE truck, which I understand why they're doing that. Looks like I'm going to go in 4/10 of a mile here and make a right. There's a lot of folks walking around. Okay, I thought I turned this off, but it didn't get turned off. But surprisingly, interestingly, it actually sounds like an ice truck.
Forsyth Road. Continue for 3 miles.
Yeah, this does get very, very, very squirrely in the front. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it has a lot of power. The handling is noticeably better than the work truck, but I do hear more tire noise. And if I go back into my drive mode here, we can see the rear steering is on. And yeah, the rear steering is on. And let's try to go back into drive modes here. Okay, it's back into normal. I want to have it into my mode. But I don't see a way to adjust the ride height. Interesting. So I can feel that the steering is a lot tighter, feels a lot heavier in the sport mode. There's a lot of engine noise coming in here, so I put the motor sound off.
In a quarter mile, slight right onto the I-70 West, US 40 West ramp to Frederick.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. It's not as fast as my Rivian, but it's got a lot of power.
Continue on I-70 West for 3 miles.
Yeah, this thing has got a lot of power. I don't think you want it to be much faster than this, folks.
In 2 miles, take exit 73
Yeah,
for
this is
Maryland
plenty
94
fast.
South toward Lisbon.
This is about as fast as you need this truck to be, folks. Any faster than this and you're going to get yourself into deep trouble. This thing is very heavy. So the big thing I want to know is, how do I engage Super Cruise? So let's see. And let's see if I can engage it here. All right, Super Cruise is on. But it's set at 67, so let's set it to the speed limit, which is 70. I can see everything in the heads-up display, which is nice. We can see that the top of the steering wheel is green. I don't need to have my hands on the wheel in this truck. That's the nice thing about Super Cruise. So the truck is doing everything on its own.
Take exit 73 for Maryland 94 South toward Lisbon.
The Super Cruise experience is pretty nice. I'm not going to take this exit. In fact, I'm probably going to cancel the navigation here in a minute.
In a quarter mile, take the Maryland 94 South ramp to Lisbon.
And it looks like it's going to get over, but now it chose to get over. I didn't actually tell it I wanted it to get over. And let's see if it moves itself over a little bit. We have a tractor trailer here on our right. It does look like it's moving over a little bit towards the left line. Oh, now it's getting in the far left lane. I don't know if this is a good idea because we're not going very fast. Now, the big thing I want to see if it'll do is, if I actually put the blinker on and try to manually get back over, if it'll do that. So let's see what it does if I put the blinker on. Okay, it is gonna get over. I'm asking it to get over. Okay. But it's not going to continue to get over. All right, so it doesn't turn off the turn signal for me. And I actually want to get over here again in a second. Let's see what it'll do. Yeah, there's cars in front of me. Okay, so it's going to slow down because this car is in front of me. That guy is pretty close back there. And now it's not picking up speed very fast. It's picking up speed a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this navigation here, so it doesn't bother us about that. I know how to get back to, well, it won't let me do it. Okay. Maybe I have to be out of Super Cruise in order for it to do that. No, it finally did it. It was just a lag there. But Super Cruise is still on. It's keeping a really far distance from the vehicle in front. Let's see if I can adjust that. So there's another toggle down here to adjust the gap. and I'm going to minimize the gap there. That's the lowest setting. Yep, 3 settings, and I'm going to set it to the lowest setting. Super Cruise really works well, folks. I think that's a huge reason to go with a GM product, is the Super Cruise. And not only is it hands-free, but you can actually use it while you're towing as well. And I don't believe any other manufacturer offers that ability to use the Super Cruise while you're towing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Super Cruise now. And of course, this Prius is going to get in front of me. There are a lot of buttons and switches in here, as well as a lot of control on the screen. And I like the buttons and the controls kind of having some overlap. That's important because not all drivers are going to want to do everything through the screen, and other drivers may want to do everything through the screen, or more stuff through the screen. So I think it's good to have that. Yeah, this is really a nice truck. The steering wheel feels really nice. The materials feel appropriately upscale. Now, obviously in this price range, I would like the dash and the materials on the dash and the materials on the door sides to be a little more upscale. I mean, they seem like barely enough. But obviously, folks, in this truck, you're paying for the battery, the powertrain, that four-wheel steering. You're paying for the air suspension. You're paying for all those things, not necessarily the interior bits. And I want to thank Antwerpen Chevrolet in Eldersburg, Maryland, for letting me take this for a test drive. It's very gracious of them to allow me to use the vehicle for a test drive. And who knows, I may pick one up. But GM's going to have to offer a little more of an incentive before I do that, because right now these trucks are just too expensive. And I really need the range. And some of the, I don't need all of these premium features, but for example, the four-wheel steering I really like, and the Super Cruise I really like. And the only way to get that is to go for the RST, which unfortunately has an MSRP of $96,000 and some change. And of course, by the time you add taxes and fees and all that fun stuff in, you're looking at 6 figures. The strange thing is the work truck models, GM is giving a $7,500 incentive on those. And you would think, this being a higher profit margin vehicle, the RST, that they would offer it on this. And I think if they did, they would really sell all the units probably that they have in inventory right now. The last check I did, there were 98 of these within 100 miles of my location. And the majority of them were black. I think only 22 of those 98 were other colors. And all the rest of them, I think, were white. There might have been one alternative that wasn't white. I think it was either blue or gray. So not a lot of color selection, but there are a lot of vehicles out there available. So GM, if you're listening, offer that Ultium Promise $7,500 cash on the RST, the 2024 RST First Editions. And I think your dealers will be able to move all the units they have in inventory. But I don't know, folks. I'm impressed by this truck. I think, as far as, is it worth the money? I mean, I think it's probably definitely worth the money. But I just wouldn't feel comfortable paying that amount for it, mainly because of all the depreciation concerns. So Hopefully
In a
GM
quarter
will...
mile, use the left lane to turn left onto Sykesville Road.
But anyway, really awesome truck, folks. I'm hopeful that GM is going to discount these soon, folks. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines thinking about a Silverado EV RST, you may want to keep your eyes peeled within the next couple months. I have a feeling, or at least I hope, that GM is going to offer some more aggressive incentives on this truck. It's really an excellent truck. Between the power, 750 horsepower, and then you have this huge battery. So 440 miles of range in this one. The 2025 does 460. And then in addition to that, you have 800 volt, 350 kilowatt fast charging. So you can go from 10 to 80% in 40 minutes. And that is a major, major accomplishment for GM, because this is a huge battery. The fact that you're able to do that in that short of a period of time. I think the figure they're quoting is 100 miles of range in 10 minutes. And I'll link to Tom Malagny's State of Charge DC fast charging test of this truck, so you can see what the charging performance is like. But this is the longest range, fastest charging EV out there now, except for maybe the Lucid. But the Lucid is not a full-size pickup truck, folks. So I don't know, what do you think? Let us know down in the comments section. As always, remember to like. It helps others find our content easier on YouTube. Click on subscribe and then hit that bell so you get notified anytime we add new content. As always, remember to hug the people you love every chance you get. And thank you guys so much for watching.